Hi guys, and welcome back to World of Tanks and another random destruction. It's been a bit of a busy day for me today, unexpectedly busy actually. I had one thing to do which then turned into something else, which then turned into something else, and ended up being out for most of the day. But we've got a couple of Sherman Easy 8 replays for you, and it's kind of a farewell to the old Easy 8. I was going to keep it, but I've unlocked the T20 now, and I think I am going to get rid of this. So these are the last two games that I played in it. This one from yesterday, and the next one is from today. And I needed about 7,500 XP, I think it was, to unlock T20, and I managed it in 2 games using the daily double, which was quite nice. And the Easy 8, for those of you who haven't played it, is basically a very mobile, medium armoured, tier 6 American medium tank. Very good gun depression, quite a decent gun actually. And the armour, well, the turret can be quite bouncy if you use it right and in the right situations, but it is very good at working the ridgelines, and it is very mobile. Not as mobile as something, say, like the Cromwell, but the playstyle kind of reminds me a lot of the Cromwell. Your hull armour is 64 on the front, 38 on the sides and rear. So your front, it has got a bit of a slope to it, not a bad slope actually, but you really are best off using something like a bump or a slope and working the ridge lines just to accentuate that frontal slope. But some of your thickest armour is actually the rounded bit in between, the rounded bit of your hull at the front, in between the two front, I've lost the words, the two front drive wheels, there we go. But back to the armour, I mean, fully upgraded, your turret is 76 on the front and 51 on the sides and rear, and your gun mantle is a little bit trolly, so yeah, you can bounce a few shots with this. The gun itself, the M1A2, 76mm, 18 rounds a minute, well 18.18 to be exact, which is really good. 123mm pen and 115 damage, which I think, if I remember rightly, I can't remember if that's one of the higher ones down at tier 6, or I could be wrong, it could be about average. In fact, ignore me, I think it's about average, but it's a good gun. 177mm on your premium rounds, 2.3 second aiming time. Accuracy is not brilliant though at 0.4, although it's not too savage. But yeah, you know, I really like it. I like the M4, I like the Easy 8, I like the Sherman Jumbo. I think all the Shermans are quite good in their own right and in their own ways, and they are worth going through in my opinion. Well, if you like your medium tanks anyway. And as you can see, there we go with the turret. I think he might have hit the gun mantle there. It sounded like they penned, but didn't do anything. So the gun mantle has, does act as a bit of spaced armour. But that's the 88 dealt with, and I've got a rubbish crew in this. Not even got the first skill, but I was detected, so I went straight forward to that sort of hill, and then at the last second jinked off to the right. And hopefully I would have dropped off radar by that point. Now I've seen that guy on the bridge, and that's when I noticed him. I should have noticed him a few seconds ago when he actually popped up on radar, but I didn't. But now I have. But he doesn't seem to have noticed me. There we go. Now he's noticed his health's going down a little bit. And I'm just working the ridge, popping back and forth, and you can see that the rate of fire is really good on this. And now I can start working on the guy on the bridge. Did I say it was a tier 7 match? I can't remember if I did. Well, it's a tier 7 match. Well, technically a tier 7 match. There was only one tier 7 on each team. And that was a bit derpy. I did kind of miss those there. But he's been dealt with. In fact, I think I just got the last blow in, so that was quite nice. You know, like I say, this is quite a mobile tank, quite a mobile medium tank. It's got a 40-degree hull traverse, 39 on the turret, which isn't too bad. You know, there is better. But it's got a decent power to weight ratio as well, and 48 km/h speed limit, so it is faster than the M4 below it. It's basically, it does feel very much like an upgraded M4 in every sense. Mobility, armour, and that's essentially what it is. Whereas the Sherman Jumbo is obviously a very up-armoured improvement, but a lot slower and less mobile. But that's why I like the Shermans at tier 6, because you've got, you know, one for anybody really. If you like your more mobile, faster mediums, you go for the Easy 8. If you prefer something a bit more heavily armoured and slower, then you go for the Sherman Jumbo. And both of them lead into the T20, and I think from the Jumbo you can go to the T29, although I wouldn't recommend going that way. I would go through the M6, because then you unlock the 90mm for the T29, and when you get it you can just stick it straight on. Otherwise you do have to work it with a 76mm, which is no fun at all. I managed to finish off the, was it 3001H? Possibly. I was too busy jabbering away. And I'm putting shots down at where I think that KV-1S is. I did hit him with that one, but that one missed, so give up, and it turns out that he had moved. No point wasting any more shells. Now, we're capping their base. There was something heading back towards cap. There he is, the medium. And that's when we start getting capped. And I think to myself, well, there's a tank destroyer up there. It looks like a medium in the base. I think there's a heavy on his way up there. They should be able to deal with him. I know one of the heavies was over this way, although I think he might have just died. And now, obviously, like I say, we're getting capped. I'm going to try and get back there to reset it. I think it looks like there's a tank destroyer going back. And yeah, with the T-34-85, I just lock on and just fire on the move and keep moving. Sometimes this tank is really good at that, other times it just lets you down every time. And there's T-34-85 in base, and I do the same thing again, just lock on, keep going, I track him, then I hit and penetrate, so I stop to aim, and that's when I bounce, obviously. So the next one goes in and takes him out, and that gets me the top gun, which was quite nice. But yeah, the one's firing on the move at full speed, auto-aimed. Yeah, hit, penetrate, track him, whatever, and stop to aim, bounce. RNG at its finest, you gotta love it, ain't you? But 5,000 XP for the day, the double, first class mastery, high caliber and a top gun, 2,276 damage done with just over 500 assisted as well, which put me at the top of the table, which was quite nice. And it was nice that, you know, I was thinking, it's always nice when you last few matches in a tank before you get rid of it and upgrade and whatever. It's always a lot nicer if they're good matches. You sort of feel a bit more, I don't know, it sits better, if you see what I mean. But yeah, you know, instead of going out on horrible matches and just thinking, ugh. But yeah, it's always nice when you can go out on a good match or two. So here we are for the last match that I've played in the Easy 8, and possibly the last match that I ever played it. I'm not too sure. It's on, I've forgotten the name of the map. Northwest. Yeah, there we go. That was crap of me, wasn't it? Standard battle, and it is a tier 7 match again, although this time there are more than one tier 7 on each team. And like I say, this is, yeah, possibly the last match I'm ever going to play in it. I don't know whether I'll buy it back again at some point if I really do miss it. But I've not been in it for a while, and I thought, do you know what? I don't need a lot of XP to get out of it and get to the T20, so might as well just finish it off. And like I say, it was nice to get the sort of 7,500 I needed in the two matches. I was really pleased with that last match yesterday. But I'm going to pop up along the northern ridge in this match, because there's one medium up there on his own, possibly a tier 5 I think, if I remember rightly, and everybody else seems to be heading down south and towards the centre of the map. And you know, as you probably are well aware, there is normally a fairly, well, there's at least always an enemy push up the western side and around this northern corner, this northwest corner. There's always a push, normally a fairly decent one, you know, maybe a quarter of the team, third of the team come up this way, some of the faster mediums and lights. And I tried to pop over to put some shots at the MT-25, but I got seen. There's guys camping near that railway station over there, which there nearly always is, so do be aware of that. You know, down that western side, down the 1-2 line, there's the railway and what looks like a bit of a railway station, lumberyard type thing. Yeah, there's nearly always people camping across there. and I've been tracked, but somehow, I don't know how, I've been bouncing a couple of shots, and all those that hit me in the side, one knocked my gun out, which I'm going to fix, because it's not much fun having an inaccurate gun in one of these. It's not so bad when you're top tier, because you don't tend to have to aim for weak spots, but sometimes in tier 7 you're going to have to. But they just kept getting eaten by the tracks, or just failing to penetrate, which was really surprising, and again, RNG at its finest, and I'm not complaining, not when it's on my side. So I've just popped to that little bit with those bushes. It lets me see out and possibly spot. I'm getting some assisted damage for that, and as long as I didn't fire I want being seen. I'm going to see if I can get over this ridge. I've got good gun depression, and just put a shot into him, but no, it's not to be. So pull back, and that's when I get spotted by that T-34. Now if I angle right on here, there's a possibility I could bounce if he doesn't hit me properly. And I don't even know where that one hit, but it didn't pen. See, this sloped bit's quite useful because it means you can really angle your frontal armour without actually exposing the side of your tank if you're careful in something like this, the way that it slopes down in front. You can angle your tank, which would normally be suicidal because you'd just be giving them the side to shoot at and penetrate, but with this slope here it allows you to, in something like this, to really angle your frontal armour against that sort of direction, but still hide the side of your tank. But I took a hit from that T-34, and that's why I pulled back. I think I've said it before, and I'll probably say it again. Try and basically only have one tank able to shoot back at you at any one time, preferably so they so they can't see you and they don't know where you are. But if they know where you are, try and have it so there's only one shooting back at you at any one time. I could have stayed out there shooting at the VK3601, but then the T-34 would have just kept putting shots at me. So pull back, only the T-34 can return fire, and now he's dead, and I can try and deal with this 3601H. And one more should do it, and there we go. Did take a bit of damage doing that though, but not a bad trade-off. Taking out two tanks, done a fair amount of damage, and RT just missed me, which is always nice. That could have been the end of me just there. It really did seem as though RNGesus was looking over my shoulder in this match a little bit, with the strange ways of blocking damage so far, and just unaimed snapshots going in. Although again it does seem quite a decent tank at doing that. They're popping out, firing and popping back. Oh, T-34, he hits me. I got a bit hasty and it went wide. Damn it. He's going to get behind this. Oh, I was hoping to have angled my armour, but it wasn't to be. My luck just ran out then, and that puts me out of the game. So I think we'll skip to the end and see how it finished off. Well, the remaining guys on the enemy team put up a valiant fight, but they were outnumbered unfortunately for them, and it was a victory for us, so I was quite happy with that. And I didn't do as much damage as the last match, but 3,400 XP for the daily doubles, quite nice. 1,200 damage done, and quite a nice amount of assisted. No, not quite a nice amount of assisted. That was a different match, sorry. Not bad assisted, 500, but a nice amount of damage blocked. That's the one I meant, 1,500, and that was from those strange sort of bounces that I had in the side and the tracks eating them. But those were my last two games in the Sherman. And you're probably thinking, but I'm sure there's 3 replays in this. There is 3 replays in this. I have dubiously tacked on a Tiger replay onto the end. It's one that I've not been playing much of recently, and I thought I'd take it out today and do the daily double on it. And I've linked it in because, well, Tigers fought Shermans, so there is a link there. A tenuous one, but there is one. And yeah, like I say, I know it was supposed to be a farewell to the Sherman, but oh well, who cares? Tigers fought Shermans. Right, so it's a tier 7 match, great wall, and it's a standard battle. And like I say, I don't really take this out very often. I've been slacking a bit really, doing the daily doubles, so I thought I'd try and get a few done today. I've just been working on a few tanks. In fact, I've just unlocked the Ferdinand. So I'm going to work towards the Jagdpanther 2 now, and I'm trying to get down that line a little bit. And I did that earlier. Oh, and something I've completely forgotten through the first 2 replays. Anybody who checks out my Facebook page will probably know already, but I now have an Xbox One as well as the PlayStation 4. I've not got World of Tanks set up on it yet. I will be downloading it on it. I won't be on it as much as I am on this, on the PlayStation. Hopefully I'll be available a bit more often online, because I've not really been available for platooning as of yet. I'm just trying to get a few things sorted and get to a position where I can, I can still do that, still make the videos and everything else, and it's just working out the times. But I will be downloading World of Tanks on the Xbox One, so I will be popping up on there every now and again. And my username on there, because I think somebody had taken it already, or it could even be a very, very, very old Xbox account from mine, from Xbox Live, from possibly even the Xbox. Did the Xbox One have Xbox Live? I can't remember. I don't think it did it? But from the very first release of the 360, and through various things, basically couldn't get it back, so I ended up changing it, yada yada yada. But anyway, I signed in today, and I've still got access to a different 360 account, the one that didn't have the CptBeardface name. Tried to sign up to it again and couldn't, and I couldn't even remember the sign-in for this other one, so it's now changed anyway, and my Xbox name is CptBeardfaceKGK, because I'm also part of the custom gaming community. In fact, I'm one of their ambassadors. So on the Xbox it is CptBeardfaceKGK, no spaces, and I'll put it in the description for this video so you can actually get the spelling of it, so you know you're adding me. So there you go. Feel free to send me a friend request on the Xbox. I'll try and get World of Tanks sorted out on it, at least before the weekend, and try and get on there next week at some point. But I am having to grind through them again anyway, so it'll be a while before you see a tier 10 in there, I'm afraid. But anyway, back to this match. I managed to take out the Chiri from doing a little bit of hill climbing behind this rock, but I've got the E25 on my flank. I had an E25 on my flank, and I've just managed to get rid of him. It's not a very... I don't like it going up there where he was. There's too many bumps and dips, and it's very awkward to actually get around on it, as you saw him sort of floundering about up there, and that allowed me to get a few shots into him without any coming back in reprisal, so that was quite nice. And one more should finish off this target, but just beat into it. In fact, I never even went over the stats of the tiger, did I? Well, just briefly, its armour is 100 on the front, 80 on the sides and on the rear, and fully upgraded it's got 100 on the front of the turret and 80 on the sides and rear, so same as the hull. 26 degrees of traverse on the hull, 23 on the turret. It's got a rate of fire of 8.96, which is quite good with the long 88, 203 millipen and 240 damage, with a 2.7 second aiming time, which is slightly on the long side, but a 0.34 accuracy, which isn't too bad at all. It's been a bit of a fight up here, and yeah, I just had enough at this point, and I thought, do you know what, I'm going to weave down towards the T25 and I'm going to ram him to death. And he's actually bounced off me a couple of times from me weaving. The Nashorn actually manages to pen, so I'll go to ram him instead, because the T25 died, and there we go. And that was the last kill of the match. So it was a bit of an intense sort of brawl up at the top of that hill. But yeah, quite a bit of fun at the end there, racing down the hill to ram. Do you know what? I just thought, bugger it, I'm ramming him. But not a bad daily double. Just under 5,500 XP. Came out that with a high caliber and a first class mastery. 3,271 damage done. Did get an extra 10,000 for the op there though. But top of the table, which is always nice. Yeah, definitely. And not too bad. Just shy of a top gun with 5 kills. But I'll accept that. I'll take it. I'm quite happy with that match. Not been in it for a while. And it's nice when you can just get back in a tank and pick it up without, needing any practice. And I do like the Tiger now. It's had that buff. Had that buff a couple of patches ago. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed tonight's video, and I hope it's been entertaining for you. And as always, take care out there, and I will catch you next time. See you later.